going on, boys? Today we actually are going to have a setup video. Now this is going to be a video that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. As you can see in my background, this is absolutely nuts. I am really blessed to be able to do this, but I was able to make my first setup / stream studio. It's going to be there for my videos, my YouTube thing, and pretty much everything going on in my life. I got to be able to build this. Big thanks to, honestly, to all of you guys for coming by and making this available for something for me to do. I really appreciate it, and this is really awesome. So before we get into it, if you guys hit that like button, hit that sub button, I'd really appreciate it, and let's get right into the freaking video. Alright, boys, now we're going to talk about the really cool things in the background. Now obviously you guys saw this, but what is in the background, it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it was an absolute grind. It didn't just come overnight. I had to grind this for literally 2 days, and we just moved in this place, so it was an absolute grind doing this. By the way, guys, the internet here is absolutely insane. 1 gig internet, so I will not be lagging. Streaming, everything goes really well. I'm able to stream on my laptop well with everything else, so that was a big upgrade from some of the last house and stuff that was going on in my last setup. So let's get into kind of the old spot and the history and all of the stuff that's in the background. So obviously you guys see these foam pads. These are actually soundproofing. So this soundproofing basically helps it to where people in my house can't really hear me whenever I'm streaming and stuff. Really important. You guys know that sometimes I'll end up streaming later and even later at night, and as soon as some of this stuff comes out, I'm going to be streaming even later. So my streams are going to get longer by about an hour and a half because of this, and I won't be disturbing people around me, which is really nice. Now everything in the back, I'm kind of gonna just go over all of it. Yeah, so basically these LED lights that I got were literally about 20 bucks on the internet. They're absolutely amazing. I love these things to death, and they kind of just light up the room. They go really well. I like the red coloring because you guys know that my logo is red, and red is one of my favorite colors, so I like that stuff. And obviously the baseball thing is really cool. It has all of the baseball teams on that, so it has every single Major League Baseball team and organization, so I really like that. Kind of a cool fun point. Now what we got here is we actually have a Chris Carpenter Cy Young Award. Now I'm going to let you guys see this. Actually, one of my friends let me use this, and it's kind of just been a staple of the setup ever since. Chris Carpenter was an absolute stud in 2005. The dude just straight up shoved. He was really, really cool. And then we've got just a Star Wars cup, and this is actually the 7th inning stretch, so it's Take Me Out to the Ball Game. The reason I have this in my setup is kind of just because it is a staple in baseball. The 7th inning stretch is literally awesome, and it's kind of sad that it didn't happen this year in 2020 because there weren't any fans, so I really love that, and that's why I have it. And then for the rest of our setup, we kind of have the games that kind of made me into what I am, what I like to say. We've got a Mark McGwire thing. I'm not even a Cardinals fan, so me having 2 Cardinals players, but the thing that's so significant about this guy is this was actually the first bobblehead that I ever got whenever I started playing, and so it's kind of just pretty clutch, and it's something that I really like. So it's one of the first games that I ever went to. I actually got this bobblehead, so it matters a lot to me. It's one of the reasons I love baseball as much as it is, and it's one of the reasons that I ended up playing baseball in the collegiate level, as it's just kind of something awesome. And then we've got Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2, this game was an absolute animal. I've got the collector's edition anyway, and actually, fun fact, the tag in the top right is kind of sentimental because this is one of the, my dad actually used to own a video game store whenever we were younger and I was kids, and it obviously is closed down now. But the thing about it is that this is like the last thing I have from it, so not only is it that, but it has double value, so pretty important to me. The next thing is going to be the, got a little bit of a Star Wars guard. That's not really important, kind of just looks cool. It's actually going to be Major League 2K12. Now, you guys are probably going to be like, if you're an OG, you know what this game was. This was the first baseball game that I ever played. It was on 360. Yeah, 2K, before they made basketball, they actually made baseball games. It's got Justin Verlander on it, so it's kind of a double tribute because Justin Verlander is my favorite baseball player in the league. Then we've got a BB-8 snow cone type thing. So, you know, I like my Star Wars and stuff. So you shake it up, it's got snow and everything. Kind of festive around this time of year, so it's just kind of something that's really cool on my setup. And then lastly, what we've got is we've got the MLB The Show 19 Collector's Edition. In my opinion, the best MLB The Show I have ever played. I thought it was the most complete, most thorough game. The Collector's Edition has home plate on the last kind of it, and this was honestly the game that I started YouTube on. It was absolutely amazing, and I love this to death. This thing is not going anywhere, so it's part of my setup. Lastly, the last thing that we're going to get is actually I have a King Felix Hernandez. And Felix Hernandez was just an absolute awesome pitcher. He's in MLB The Show now, but he's an old guy. It's got his signature on the back, which is really sick. So I really love this thing. It is definitely an amazing part of memorabilia because I think it's so great and so fun. My dad gave it to me whenever I was a little kid because he lived in the Seattle area and he had some of the stuff. So that is my background of my setup that you guys are going to be seeing in every video, any stream. These foam things on the wall literally took hours and hours to put together, but looking at it now, definitely worth it. We're going to get into the tech now, so you guys are going to see the tech of what runs my setup, and we're going to get right into it now. Alright boys, so we're going to be kind of going over the tech first. Now I wanted to go over some of this first, but the first thing that I have, the thing that runs my whole channel, is actually a Legion Lenovo Wi-Fi 40. Now a bunch of you guys, you probably don't really care about the specs, but I'm going to give them to you anyways. Alright, so basically some of the specs on it, it has an i7 Intel processor, which is absolutely amazing. It also has a graphics card of a 1660 Ti. Not super powerful, but it does the job, and I'm not going to be using this for gaming. I game on a PS4 and an Xbox. I don't really game on PC, just not really my thing. But if I do ever somehow upgrade to a desktop PC, I might upgrade that just kind of for fun and play on controller, but not something I'm looking to do right now. Maybe in the future though, who knows. It runs my streams pretty well, and the thing is it's got the functionality and perfect look. If you looked at this laptop, you wouldn't necessarily know it was a gaming laptop, but it does the job, and it also is kind of both things, and it works really well for me as a school laptop and a video editing. Of course, I'm in college, so it's kind of something that does both, and it does it very well. I love this laptop to death. It's done so great for me, and that's about it. It's just an amazing laptop. Let's get into the rest of the stuff. The next thing that we have is a Blue Snowball. I know a lot of people say that it's not the greatest quality of microphone, but this thing's really been with me since day one, and it's been so good that I'm not ever gonna really get rid of it, as I feel like it's just kind of amazing, and it's done wonders for me. It's done absolute wonders. Now we're gonna start to get into the monitors and the webcam and the stuff like that, and we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna start talking about the background and the back, what you're gonna be seeing in my streams. I have a dual monitor setup. I'm going to get a mount to where they're both together, but for the meantime, they're just right next to each other. This is 144 hertz, 1 millisecond, and it's an Asus monitor. It does really good, really great display. Works great for games like MLB The Show, Call of Duty, and stuff like that. This is just an HP monitor that I ended up picking up at Walmart. I believe it wasn't more than about $150. It's 1080p, but this is what I use to read my chats and stuff like that. So that's what you're gonna see me reading chats in my videos. And my last thing that I've got on my setup is going to be my Angitube webcam. This thing's an absolute behemoth for me. 1080p, great budget thing. I got it during whenever Corona was big, so it was really clutch because it had things like 1080p, and all the Logitech ones were actually sold out. Alright boys, so that's going to be the end of the video. Be sure to hit that like button, that sub button, and comment down below your thoughts about the brand new setup. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it whenever you guys take time every day to watch my videos, and might be out.